So I wanted to share the story behind the story of my novel, Sabiha's Dilemma. So originally it was published as The Good Daughter, and I had a dream run where it won awards and was reviewed beautifully. So that was 13 years ago, and I've now republished it. And so, like a lot of writers, the first novel is the autobiography. It's going back to your story. So I wanted to write a memoir. I wanted to share some things about what it was like growing up with a mum who has bipolar and coming from a non-English speaking background where we didn't understand the illness and we didn't understand the way it worked or what it meant. But I didn't feel comfortable at that time writing a memoir, so I wrote it from the point of view of a young person, and I was then able to meld some of my memories and introduce fictional elements. And so while Sabiha is similar to me and has some traits like me, Bosnian background, Muslim, growing up Muslim, mother bipolar, and from the western suburbs, she is also different and she is a character in her own right. And I wanted to share the pressures of when you have a parent who suffers from a mental illness, what that means and what it's like, and to shed some light on mental illness and the condition of bipolar, which is an illness that's characterized by emotional highs, manic highs, and then a drop into a very big low, depressive, sometimes suicidal low. And what growing up in that situation means. So you grow up a bit too fast, you know a bit too much, and there isn't much in the way of security. And so Sabiha's story is different to mine because I have a much bigger connection to my culture than Sabiha does. I actually lived in Bosnia as a child for 4 years, whereas Sabiha hasn't had anything to do with her family. And when her mother has her extended family come to Australia after the Balkan War which happened 1992 to 1995, so this book is sort of set in this in-between time. I'm not being too specific about time, but she is indoctrinated and introduced into the culture, and I did that deliberately because I wanted her to sort of be exploring it as an outsider and talking about it as an outsider so that I could share that part of it to the world. And through writing this book, I created this whole world and all these characters in it that I fell in love with, and I came back to it and wrote a sequel that wasn't picked up, but now I'm doing this as a 6-book series, and this is the first book in the 6-book series. Sabiha's Dilemma is also available in ebook, in paperback, in dyslexic font edition, in large print, and there is an audiobook that is narrated by a performance narrator by Nina Nikolic, who is brilliant. So whatever format you are into, you can find hopefully a version of the book that you would want to read. Thank you.